Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome back to chapter number 4, that is India's internal challenges. We have seen till Mizoram, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and about Naxalite movement and communalism. Now we're going to learn about the religionism. What is religionism? Religionism means having excessive pride about one region. It is one thing to introduce oneself as a Bengali or as a Marathi person. But if I think because I am Bengali or a Marathi, I am superior to other from other preference, it can be termed as a excessive regional pride. See, what is religionalism? Means, see, India is a multilingual country, multicultural people live here all together happily. So that's why this is called as a India is a democratic country, because all the religions people live in a unity or in a one place. But what happened if you will start thinking about that you are superior and other is inferior to you? What will happen? We will going to face a different challenges. Like, if I am a Marathi person, what I will think, I am better than other religion or other religious person. What will happen? I have this pride that I am superior to another one. Then the love for one's preference turns morbid due to this kind of an excessive religional pride. It is natural to feel love for one's preference, but it should not become abnormal. Okay, you started thinking that my religions and my whole customs and duties and all the norms are very superior, very good. If you're thinking it, that's very good and one should follow, this all will be good. But it should not be like that I am superior to one other region. Regionalism thrives in a regional imbalance in development. It is the post-independence period. Some states achieve more progress while some states remain backward. For example, states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Punjab, Tamil Nadu develop economically and industrially, whereas states like Odisha, Bihar, Assam remain undeveloped economically and industrially. Now, see what happened after independence. Some of the regions get more progress and more development in the India, like Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Punjab. They are very developed states. They got more importance in industrializations and economically, whereas Odisha, this Assam, and Bihar, this all got less development. Economic development and reform are the foundation of progress. As a result, the state that develop economically can also achieve progress in other areas like education, health, and culture. See what happened when you are economically strong in other sections of the things you can focus on, like it is education, health, and culture. You can focus more on educational when you are developed. You can focus more on health facilities, health issues, and health facilities mostly. And then culture, you can improve your culture by economically. The state which have not developed in the manner remain backward in education and civic amenities. What happened? Like Bihar, in Bihar there is lots of problem of electricities and education system. They have no proper education system there. So these are the things when you are underdeveloped and when you are developed. The opportunities of development available to people in the developed states are not possible for people in the backward states. They are harassed by the problems of education, backwardness, unemployment, poverty, etc. Now, what happened? The opportunities. If you have increase in industrialization, what happened? You can get the more jobs are available, and there is a less employment. But if you are in backward area, that area which is not developed, the people will not get easily the job. Number of job is not available for them, and this leads to the poverty. they begin to think that they are being cheated, they are being kept away from the benefits of development. Because of this, the understanding between state is broken. This in turn has a negative impact on the national unity. The economic imbalance that has endangered this understanding needs to be set right. Our government makes efforts in the directions. Now see what happened when some states get more development and some states get less development. What happened? People started thinking that they have been cheated by the government. They cannot, they didn't get the they didn't get the proper distribution of economy. So government started focusing on the this direction that we have to uplift the backward states. Regionalism can affect developed as well as undeveloped states. The people of developed states begins to believe that they are superior due to their superior history and the culture, and hence they have developed that much. Then they begins to look down upon the people of underdeveloped regions. Now this regionalism is impacting both of the state, where someone who's developed and other one who's not developed. When you go to village, what you will think? We are superior because we have vehicles, we have electricity, we have water supply, we have transportation system, we have a communication system. So what we think that village people doesn't have these kind of things in your in journal example. And likewise it happens with the states. Those who are uh, developed, they feel like we are superior because we have a very great history, that we are independent from beginning, and they will started feeling that backward areas and backward states are inferior to them. They are not willing to share the benefits of development with the backward state. On the other hand, the people from the backward area needs to arouse their regional identity to organize themselves. For these, they try to unnecessarily glorify local traditions and cultures to prove their uniqueness. These leads to regionalism. It indulges national unity. The evil of regionalism can be tackled by reducing the imbalancement in the development. Then what happened? The backward society started taking unnecessary customs in into the country considerations, that they are very uniqueness, they have uniqueness from the upper caste people, or sorry, the developed states, that we follow these customs and rules and regulation, but they don't. The citizen people or the developed state doesn't do this. We have studied a few challenges that India is facing. Apart from these, there are several problems like overpopulation, cleanliness, agriculture, and the problem of farmers, poverty, house, and food. We are trying to overcome these and move forward. We are progressively steadily. In this next chapter, we shall learn about the progress in the economic field. See, these problems we are still facing, we are still working on that. What is that? Cleanliness, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, like we are telling that Modi ji come with. Then one of the topic that we have to go with Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Then overpopulation, we are on the third, we are in the third position in the population. Then agriculture, 70% agriculture Indian people do, but what happened? We don't have new techniques to produce food. Then the problem of farmer, what they farmers are, the suicides of farmers are still, we are focusing on that area. Then poverty, obviously one section of the India is very rich and other one is poor. So these are the problem we are still focusing on, and we are rapidly increasing, or we are coming up with the development. So next we'll learn the economic development of a field in economic, we'll learn in the next chapter. Thank you.